Hey, what's going on, guys? David here from Genzio. We are live here from Bangkok, Thailand, at the GM podcast, the Genzio Media House. I am here with Itai from Dynamic. How are you?
Living dream. Can't complain.
There we go.
How's life?
Life is phenomenal. And like
good.
I had mentioned before, only up.
Only up.
We're going to continue just to only go up.
Right on. That's a good attitude.
Is this your first time in Thailand?
It is my second time in Thailand. Last time was 20 years ago. So it has not changed. No, I'm kidding. It changed a lot. So
Yeah, really. I was going to say, because we're looking, like you look at it structurally, there's a lot of bigger buildings, right? You can see where they have developed and where, maybe
no, it's insane. It's like a gigantic city. I think after this, going to New York is just like, just going to like a suburb.
Yeah. Have you gotten on the back of any scooters?
I did that twice. I've gained 20 minutes in saving time and I've lost 5 years of my life in stress. So I don't know if that equation was worth it. But
No. I can relate 100%. I've rode it a couple times, and every time I'm riding, I'm thinking like, wow, this is, my life is flashing before my eyes.
Yeah, I keep thinking, how do I pitch this to my wife that I did this? And I can't come up with a good idea yet. So we'll see.
Well, sweet, man. Let's talk about Dynamic.
Yep.
Tell me about Dynamic.
Sure thing. So Dynamic at the very basic level is everything that happens when you visit a website and you click login. So we are an authentication company. We power essentially the login experiences on sites. So if you go to Magic Eden today, or Doodles, or Pudgy Penguins' marketplace, or Bags on Solana, or the Lamborghini Web3 experience, and you click login, that entire modal and the entire kind of wallet creation in the background, so you log in with an email, you log in with social, etc., that is all powered by Dynamic. So at the very basic level, what we give developers is this toolkit, an SDK, where they can abstract away crypto for their users so that they can interact with these crypto experiences without needing a wallet. That's what we do in a nutshell.
Okay. And how long has Dynamic been around?
We've been around for slightly under 3 years at this point.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so we're a Series A company. We are backed mostly by A16Z, also Founders Fund. We've raised both a seed and a Series A. And most of our customers today are, again, folks like Magic Eden, Eclipse, Bearchain, Say, Starknet. If you go to all of these sites or all of these core experiences and you click login, that's all powered by the Dynamic auth system.
Okay. And so really, what was your journey to get to where you are?
Yeah. So I originally from Israel, born and raised. After my army service, I started did college in the U.S. So went to MIT for undergrad. That's where I met my co-founder, also fellow Israeli. So MIT had like 2 Israelis per year, so we had to be friends. Wasn't really a choice, but we've known each other for 18 years at this point. And post college, I worked at IBM Research for a while. Then worked in consulting at the Boston Consulting Group. Then went back to business school. So did my business school at Harvard. Had a small startup in travel tech that I ran for a while. Then moved to the West Coast, just like I guess everyone else in tech. Joined Zenefits, which is an HR tech company. Then did a completely different thing than HR tech. Joined a company called Jewel Labs on the vaping side and worked in kind of identity verification at pretty big scale. Joined a coffee startup called Cometeer a while back, chief product officer there and one of their kind of earlier investors, I guess. And at that point started Dynamic. So kind of all across anywhere from consulting to IBM to HR to vaping to coffee and then crypto.
Well, with such a dynamic background, so it seems, it feels like the name kind of just came naturally.
Exactly. We had no choice.
Yeah, it's quite dynamic.
Right. Yeah.
So what are some problems that you guys set out to solve?
Yeah, so at the very basic level, we kind of think that if you fast forward 5 years, if you open your phone in 5 years and you look at every app on your phone, it's going to have a crypto component to it.
Yeah.
You might not know about it as a user, you might not care about it, but it's a very effective way to transfer money globally. It's a very effective way to keep track of assets, of identity, whether it's fungible assets or non-fungible assets. And so we kind of believe the world will move to a place where pretty much anything you interact with on the web will have a crypto component to it. It might be front and center in some apps. It might be completely in the background in others. And so what we set out to solve is to abstract the complexity of interacting with crypto from developers. So think about us as a crypto-enabled SDK that goes into your app or website. It lets you kind of take advantage of all the magical parts of crypto, of like global money transfers, with very low cost, of kind of holding assets and making sure they're unique to you, etc., without all the complexity of kind of managing multiple wallets, of managing chains, of managing gas, etc. So that's what we set out to do. We're in the kind of abstraction of crypto business.
Okay. And how user-friendly, might this be for somebody outside?
Yeah, so at the very basic level, most users should actually not even know they're using this.
And
Right,
that's nice, yeah. Because there are a lot of people who actually don't even realize that they are interacting
that's
with
exactly
Web3
right.
and blockchain,
That's
whether
exactly
it's
right.
games or something
yeah.
like this. It's really like they don't know, but they're actively helping and adding their presence.
That's exactly right. I think the analogy for this is I kind of think about crypto very similar to the power grid.
Yeah.
Right. And we're in the business of kind of selling you electric outlets in your house. No one shows up to buy electric outlets. It's not the star of the show, right? What you care about is getting like the TV to work in your house,
Yeah.
or playing games on your laptop, right? And so the abstraction of just being able to plug your TV in and kind of get power from the source and kind of have it all work is really kind of the magic of the electric grid. In the same way, that's where crypto will be, which is you can plug into this like magical system that moves money globally very, very quickly and very efficiently, or moves assets without really thinking about it. So that's what we're aiming to do, is really abstract away that complexity so that you as an end user, again, shows up. And even today, by the way, if you open PayPal, it has a wallet component to it. If you open Venmo on your phone, it has a wallet component to it. If you open Robinhood, if you open Coinbase, obviously Coinbase Wallet, but a lot of deep-in protocols, right?
Yeah.
They all have these wallet components in them, or non-custodial wallet components in them. And you as a user shouldn't really care. You should just care about getting to kind of a result that of an action that you couldn't do before without these crypto rails.
Okay, yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Yeah. Can you kind of describe us the process of as a user, the process of onboarding yourself and
Sure.
getting involved?
Yeah, so as an end user, essentially?
Yes.
Yeah, so end user, so let's take an example. So let's take the example of bags. So let's say, we're in the meme craze of token meme craze.
Yeah.
As an example, you want to participate in that, right? With all the caveats of, these are memes, and, you should take the risk as such, but you want to participate in that. You don't care about crypto. You just want to get exposed to a new asset class. Or in the case, again, similar to meme thing, you want to kind of bet on the elections, right? Go to Polymarket.
Yeah.
Right?
Which was a very popular thing.
Exactly. So let's take Polymarket as an example, right? You go to Polymarket as a user, you don't care about Polymarket being powered by crypto.
Yeah.
Right? You just care that you want to place a bet on a game, or you want to place a bet on kind of the outcome of an election, or cabinet picks, or anything like that. When you go into a site like Polymarket or Bags, etc., you log in with your email address or your phone number, you log in with your Gmail or anything like that, or Facebook, and you're done. You're on your merry way. You can add your bank account, you can deposit money, you can kind of trade, you can pull money out. That's your experience, right? And none of these points did I mention crypto, right? Like the crypto kind of faded in the background, right?
Yeah.
Polymarket doesn't say we're a crypto company. They kind of just say we're kind of prediction market company.
Yeah.
Bags is more of a meme coin, social trading type company, right? They don't say crypto anywhere. That's the experience for end users. So the experience for end users is the experience of going into a site, logging in the regular way that you are used to logging in.
Any other
which
apps,
is
yeah.
exactly email login, phone login, Google, Facebook, Instagram, or whatever, accomplishing a task that you want to accomplish, and that's pretty much it. That is the experience you get with Dynamic. So when you set up the Dynamic SDK, we take care of that part of the flow, of the creation of your account, creation of a non-custodial wallet in the background, helping you bring money into that account or take money out of that account, and interact with whatever chain you interact with. all without a user ever knowing, and mostly without developers needing to know the complexity.
Yeah. It's so interesting. I do see a lot of people, like, we mentioned just a little bit ago that there are so many people who are contributing to blockchain Web3 that really don't even know it,
Correct.
And I see it firsthand, people, whether it's out in public playing a game or,
That's right.
they have no idea that they're actually contributing.
That's right. Exactly.
And I
Yes.
can see how that could be easy for, an end user to interact.
That's exactly right. You can see this. We have one of our customers is a company called XP.gg. They aggregate games, and they let you take points from one game and kind of use it on a second game.
Oh, okay.
Right, which is pretty cool. But again, as a gamer, you shouldn't care that it's crypto-based. It's crypto-based because it's a very effective way to do what they're trying to do. But you as a user, go to XP, you generate your XP account, you log in with an email address, you might log in with Steam or an Epic Games, just like you would on other sites. You connect all your games and you earn points, and you can move them between different games. So that is an experience that Dynamic kind of works with developers to build. Again, at no point during my last minute of kind of talking that I mentioned crypto, right? Developers or end users do not care about that type of stuff.
Yeah.
That's the business we're trying to abstract with kind of a crypto SDK that we give folks.
Okay. And do you think it might be beneficial for actually at least people who are interacting without even knowing to one day at least tell them, like, hey, do you realize that you are,
Yeah.
you are...
Yeah. Absolutely. So the short answer is yes, right? So there's really two problems that we set out to solve. First is the onboarding problem, which is, hey, I am a user. I want to accomplish a task. I want to place a bet on the election. I want to play a game. I want to earn points, whatever. I don't care about crypto. So step one is the user onboarding problem, right? And that's what we talk about with abstraction. Step two, though, is, okay, now that I've done that, let me discover ecosystems, right? That's the magic of crypto. Okay, I did this here, but let me take the result of what I did here and use it across other parts of the system. So let me take the points I got on game one and use it across kind of 10 other games in a permissionless way, right? We call those global wallets, which is kind of a wallet that graduates from being siloed within an application to letting you interact across multiple applications. And it's one of the biggest things we're out to solve now, which is, okay, you've discovered crypto, or you've discovered this powerful kind of, hey, I have a wallet, I have stuff in my wallet, how do I interact with everything else? We give you ways to do this. So you trade, on Polymarket and you get USDC. Can you convert that to a different currency and do something else on Uniswap? Right? So we give you that path, which is a little bit more of a crypto native path. But we call that the second part of the problem, which is moving from a siloed user onboarding problem to an ecosystem discovery thing. So yes, that was an extremely long way of answering your question.
Yeah.
Which is the short version is yes, absolutely. Like, folks will get exposed to crypto over time.
For sure. So what's on the horizon for Dynamic? Any plans, anything coming out?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're excited about a bunch of things. I think we're geeks at heart, so we get excited about like 17 things at once. One of the things that's coming out as soon as next week is our some announcements around global wallets, right? So the ability, again, what we just talked about, which is to take the first step of abstracting the crypto experience away, and the second step, discovering ecosystems.
Yeah.
So the next thing on our horizon, immediate horizon, is discovering ecosystems. The next thing after that gets us really excited are things around kind of everything money. And what that means is, okay, I created an account for you, and I've created a wallet within that account, an embedded wallet within that account. The next step of things is getting money into that account, getting money out of that account from any source to any kind of destination, right? That's a non-trivial problem, and developers spend a lot of time trying to figure out on-ramps and off-ramps and swaps and bridging, etc. We're going to try to abstract all of those away. We call that kind of our money initiative, and the idea is to just abstract as much as possible away from that. So we're very excited about that. We're also very excited, again, coming back to our geeky side, we're super excited around new EIPs that are coming out there. For folks that don't know, EIPs are Ethereum Improvement Proposals, and those are kind of things that get enshrined into the protocol that kind of improve how things work. The biggest of which is called 7702, which kind of lets you do sophisticated things around sponsoring guests, which inherently mean that, okay, when I transfer money from me to you, I need to pay this extra amount of money to kind of the network. Can someone else pay it? Or can I pay it in a different currency, et cetera? And so we're excited about these types of improvement proposals to the core protocol that let us do more clever things and abstract even more stuff from developers and end users. So that's the next set of things. And after that, it's kind of a secret roadmap, of things that we're trying to build.
Okay, quite a dynamic approach. Where would you like to see Web3 from the perspective of dynamic in, let's say, 5 years?
Yeah, absolutely. So I kind of think about Web3 like the internet. It's not one thing, right?
Yeah.
Like inherently, I kind of hope that in 5 years, these types of conferences, that are Web3 conferences, kind of go away, right? But rather, there's the Money 2020 conference, and that's mostly around kind of money, and then a lot of DeFi protocols are there, and a lot of kind of on-ramps and off-ramps are in that space. Versus you go to AI conferences, and there's a lot of agentic wallets, right? Or like programmatic wallets that agents can have in order to kind of transact and interact with other things, right? And so you'll have events around that. So I kind of hope that in 5 years, Web3 isn't a concept, but rather it's like a set of things that exists within the internet, and is part of any one of these other kind of verticals. Really, we're all in the very much, and you can see this in DevCon specifically, we're very much in the infrastructure business here. Right. And as much as we like to think we're the stars of the show, it's really shouldn't be the case. Right. Like ideally, this all gets abstracted beneath the surface. And in 5 years, it just becomes another thing that you have as a part of the experience that you do, in a very similar way to if you open your phone in 5 years, you should assume that every app on your phone will have an AI component to it.
Yeah.
They're not going to be AI companies necessarily, but it's a very effective way to interact with the user. It's a very effective way to kind of create a new kind of discovery mechanism for stuff, right?
Sure.
So, but there won't necessarily be AI conferences as much as just AI within money, AI
being used everywhere.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And so that's kind of how we think about Web3 in 5 years. Is that term doesn't exist? It's just like a part of the internet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Well, thank you so much for your time talking. Where can we follow you guys?
Yeah, absolutely. So first, I appreciate you having me. A couple places where you can follow Dynamic. First, dynamic.xyz. Then you can follow us on Twitter, dynamic_XYZ, I hope, if I got that correctly. You can follow me on Twitter as well, which is just my last name, Turbahn, Turbahn. And besides that, we're in a bunch of these conferences. We usually like to hang out with folks and kind of geek out around topics like this. So if you find us, just tweet at us and we'll be there.
Cool, man. Well, pleasure meeting you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Hey, what's up?
But it's not something Genzio is afraid of.
If you want to survive, you got to build a
How
hive.
many know we do not understand that we do not understand?
Ladies and gentlemen.
We're back at the Genzio Media House.
Oswald, thanks so much for joining us today.